Hey, welcome to our show, guys. Our show's called Goose in the Wild, and guess what? We've got a great topic here today. We usually have a nice sense of humor, a little amusement in all our shows, but the topic we've chosen today, we're not going to go that route. This gal run into me a year ago, last summer at Glades, and says, Goose, you need to do a show on drugs, because a lot of people watch your show and you can make a profound effect on a lot of people in this community. So I got thinking about that. You know what I come up with? The gal is exactly right. So we're going to introduce you to our guest today, Michelle Leifson. If she can come in now.
Hi, Goose.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
I got thinking about what you said a year ago. We've been trying to get you for a year, and I know you've been a busy gal. So, and I know you're the director of Panic, right?
Yep.
Just briefly, can you tell the community what those letters stand for?
Yeah, Panic stands for People Against Narcotics in the Community. It was formed in Salem about 5 years ago by parents who were concerned about their loved ones dealing with drug addiction. When I went to my first Panic meeting, I thought that somebody's going to tell me the cure. There's no cure for addiction. All Panic does is educate the community. If we can educate the parents and the younger kids to not ever start, that's what our goal is. Okay, and that's what our goal is today, people, about this show. Trying to get people to think about never starting. Now, I've learned over the years, and just reading and things like that, that one of the biggest factors of people starting is the C word. You know what the C word is? Curiosity. Oh, curiosity.
How do you feel about the word curiosity?
Well, I think nowadays our young kids are trying things they haven't even got a clue what they are. You know, your high school kids are trying things, and once they try them, then they can't get off them. Then they just lead to other things, and then when they can't get the Oxycontin, then they go to Salt Lake and get the heroin, and then that's a whole nother can of worms.
Now, first big question. Is there anything funny about drugs?
Absolutely not. I've been dealing with drugs since 2000, and still dealing with it as we stand right here today. And no, there's a lot of heartache and broken families and kids ruining their lives. There's nothing funny about drug addiction.
You told me you had a son a couple of weeks ago, home, throwing up all he had in his stomach. Nothing funny about that?
Nope. He was able to get a prescription from a doctor over in Payson for Oxycontin for an injury he didn't even have. And when I kind of figured out that that's what he was doing, I called the doctor, called the state of Utah, tried to get it stopped. So he decided to go cold turkey, clean up, and it was a pretty ugly sight.
Okay, Michelle, what kind of kids or what kind of people are being led to using drugs?
Well, you know, I think it used to be the bad kids, but anymore it's not the bad kids. It's my boys are all Eagle Scouts and all seminary graduates, so it's all kinds of kids that are experimenting with it, and they're experimenting younger and younger. You're getting down into the junior highs and the middle schools, and when it's only a pill, they think they can justify it's just a pill, come out of mom's medicine cabinet, it's okay. And that's where it's starting, and it's starting, and once it starts, there's no end to it.
Okay, and we'll come back and we'll discuss some other things at another location. Michelle.
Yeah.
You're the head of Panic, right?
Right.
You should know everything about drugs. Is that right?
I know a lot.
Okay. What about performance-enhancing drugs and steroids that the athletes are taking? What do you know about them?
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
No.
So if Michelle doesn't know not a thing about these performance-enhancing drugs, how many other people in our community are in the same boat?
Lots.
Lots, Bryce?
Yeah.
So that's why one of the reasons we're doing this show. We are down at the sports park.
Yeah.
This baby is really used during the summer. Right, Michelle?
Right.
And as you can see, over our shoulders, it's being used as we do this show. Now, performance-enhancing drugs, basically, society is saying that athletes have to be bigger, stronger, and faster. And so kids and even adults are thinking, well, to be bigger, stronger, and faster, I've got to get some help. That's why they call it enhancement drugs. But in the long run, they're bad news. So if you're thinking about using performance-enhancing drugs, you need to get that idea out of your head. And if you're using them now, you need to stop them now. That's my plea. What do you say, Michelle?
That's what you need to do. Don't even get on them. Don't even start on them.
Some of the best athletes that I know have never had a drug in their body to enhance their performance. None of them. So you think about it. Now, I had a recovering drug addict tell me this. You know what? Nobody's going to watch your show, Goose, if you do one on drugs. And I said, why is that? He says, because most of the people think they don't have a problem. What do you say to that?
I think a lot of people think they don't have a problem. It's hitting every family. It doesn't matter anymore whether you're go to church every week, whether a broken family. It's hitting all kinds of families, all kinds of kids. As many adults are doing drugs today as what our kids are. So the parents, a lot of kids have parents that are out doing prescription drugs, and so it's everywhere.
So as you can see, we're here in the big parking lot, and I was also told that that's one of the places that people use, right here in the parking lot. Did you know that?
I did. Yep, parking lots, all your grocery stores, in the parking lots, that's a good place for them to meet up and be able to exchange their drugs back and forth.
Huh. Did you guys know that? I didn't. Bryce, did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
You didn't know that. Now, Michelle, this was kind of interesting. She's been scared to death to do this show. She didn't know what I was going to ask her. In fact, she got in the van here and was looking for a script. We don't do a script. What do you think about that?
I think it's great. Yep.
We never know what Goose is going to ask.
Yeah, that's kind of what worried me.
Yeah, that's kind of like Pop Goes the Weasel.
That's why I haven't done it for a year.
Okay, now did you hear what she said? That's kind of worries her.
It scares her to death is what it does.
Okay, how do you feel about, if you're this scared, what about the drug situation? Does that even scare you?
That even scares me more. I wouldn't want anybody to go through what I've gone through just with my kids and all the people that I've came in contact with and the lives that have been broken up from it. I wouldn't want anybody to go through that. That's why we do Panic, so people can be educated. When I started in it 8 years ago with my kids, there was no education out there. Now there is today.
Beautiful. All right, we're going to keep moving. And you guess where we are at this next location, because we're not going to tell you. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back, guys. Michelle, there's a lot of things in life that are really fun, you know, like skateboarding and cross country. Are drugs ever fun?
Nope, never.
Why is that?
Like we said, all they do is lead to a lifetime of misery. I had the opportunity to go to the state prison, and we got to interview 7 inmates that were in there for pretty much life sentences. And the one kid went in there when he was 18, killed a kid using drugs, and he's 35 now. So he's spent majority of his life there. Can't imagine what it'd be like to turn on a light switch in a room.
What about a cell phone?
Has never seen a cell phone.
He's never seen a cell phone,
Never seen a cell phone, doesn't know what an iPod is. He just said, you kids have no idea what you have and what can be gone because of one choice. The choice to use drugs that night that he killed that kid, put him behind bars for 18 years. And he's still there.
You said he's never even turned a light switch on?
In 18 years, they're not allowed to turn lights on. The lights are turned on and off in the state prison by the wardens and that. So he asked the kids, what's it like to walk in your bedroom and flip a light on? What's it like to use a cell phone? A lot of sad people in the state prison, and they all have a mother and a dad that loves them, and they all started with one drug.
Now, your kids played ball.
Yeah, all of them did.
They came through the Pony League.
Yep, they did.
And so, what? Playing ball wasn't much fun? It wasn't as fun as trying?
They had a lot of fun. My kids did every sport there was to do. But a time in their life when something happened and they decided to start using drugs, because that's what everybody was doing, that's when it all came to an end.
Now, you said something about your son, Judd. He's your only non-addict?
Yeah, him and Lindsay.
Non-addict son?
Yep. Yeah, he's my only non-addict son.
And why is that? Tell him right now.
Because he decided a long time ago he wasn't going to use drugs. He saw what it's done to families. He's lived it. He's, you know, there's a time we had to go around and bolt all the windows shut in the house because the kids would break the windows in, and we all slept in the same bed. All me and Judd and Lindsay for months slept in the same bed because we were so afraid of the kids coming in. And Judd decided a long time ago he wasn't going to use drugs. A lot of his friends say, well, it's just alcohol or it's just a cigarette. And Judd says that's just where it starts. You can never, ever start.
There we go. We haven't mentioned that. I'm glad you did. Just basic beer
Yep.
and basic regular cigarettes. Is that way some kids get started?
Oh yeah, it's a gateway drug. It's where they start, and then once they do that, then they go on to other stuff, and by the time you get to that and then get into the other stuff, it's too far.
So then skateboarding becomes boring, and cross country and softball and all that becomes boring.
Yep.
Okay, I wanted to get a youth perspective on this drug issue, but our kids said that they couldn't be identified, and because of legality situations, right, Bryce?
Absolutely.
We're gonna have to kind of blur out their faces, and we can't give you their names, but we are gonna get their opinions.
Now, we're not blurring them because they're ugly, just because we have to do it for legality.
That's exactly right.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna go over here to our first guy. What do you think about the drug issue?
I think it's just plain stupidity, and I've never touched a drug in my life.
Look right in the camera here.
Do you know anybody that has?
Yeah, I know a couple people. Yep.
And why haven't you touched drugs, period?
Because I just never found any interest in them. They're just a waste of breath, and
What grade are you?
I'm a senior.
The senior, I know you're here at the skate park,
Yep.
riding.
Sure.
Does that give you a high?
Oh yeah.
What's the high?
Riding my bike's my high.
So you like to get the adrenaline flowing and natural endorphins for your high.
Oh yeah.
You don't need any substitute.
Nope.
Beautiful, man. We appreciate you. Let's go over here now. Here's our next guy right here, our next young man. How do you feel about drugs?
They're bad.
Why are they bad? Look right here and tell people why they're bad.
They get you addicted.
And addicted means
No fun?
no fun. I know you're on your bike.
Yeah, I couldn't ride my bike if I did drugs.
Does that give you a lot of fun riding your bike?
Yeah,
What is it about the skate park that's a high to you?
that's my drug.
That's your drug.
Yeah, that skate park's my drug.
Ooh, I like that. Did you hear that? Sports is his drug. I like it. Let's go next door. All right, moving to our next young man. How do you feel about this drug thing that's so rampant right now?
I think it's just stupid. You're gonna ruin your life and lose all your money.
Ooh, now I'm thinking out there's probably thinking, I ain't got any money to begin with, so what have I got to lose?
Well, it'll ruin your life. You could die easy. A lot of people die from doing drugs, and it will like give a bad influence to all your friends and family.
Ooh, beautiful. So there's some things in life that are more important than money.
Yep.
And you mentioned it, your life, your good health. Yeah, you're on your bike too.
Yep.
Is this your high? All right, beautiful, thank you.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna go to our fourth young man here, get his perspective on this drug thing. What's your feelings on using drugs?
I just think it's stupid because why would you be using drugs when you could be spending time with family and stuff and live a good life instead of die earlier? And I just think it's pretty dumb. And my saying is I never touched a drug either, and plan not to. I've seen other kids that asked me for drugs, and I told them no, just to get away from me if they're doing that stuff. And if they don't get away, I just leave myself. And that's it.
Ain't that something? And the youth of today get a bad rap, Michelle, you know, like
Yeah.
they're no good, they're losers and that, but we've just talked to 4 young men here They're sharp, man.
Yeah.
They're sharp.
There's a lot of parents that are struggling with addictions, and you know that's tough for kids to see their parents not home at night and struggle with prescription drugs especially.
Beautiful. Thanks, man. You had some great things to say. Okay, we're going to go to our 4th location and close our show. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're going to come and close our show, and we're here at my place.
Now, wait a minute. Why are we at your place?
Well, the reason we're at my place because Michelle told me that one of the most frequent places that people use is in their own homes. Is that true?
That is true.
So, we're going to go into my home, so welcome to my home.
Is this the goose nest?
This is the goose nest.
All right.
And we're going to go here in the kitchen, folks.
Hey, thanks for welcoming us in. What are we going to eat?
Well, we haven't got anything to eat, but we just kind of want to show people that their own medicine cabinets is a place that the young ones can get started,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And as we open mine here,
Well, there you go, George, right there in your own medicine cabinet.
wow, and that's
What is George using?
now, well, that's a painkiller that my wife needed for her
Well, that's harmless then, isn't it?
for her shingles. She got shingles, and anybody that's had shingles, they're
Very
painful.
painful.
So she needed to get a prescribed painkiller,
Well, what's wrong with that?
but
Well, what's wrong with it is if George had little kids in the house,
All right.
they could start on these pain pills right here, and that's right where they can start. And Mom wouldn't even know they were missing. Would she miss 2 or 3 of them?
she sure wouldn't.
And if they're capsules, they take the medicine out and they put powdered sugar or baking soda back in it, and so when Mom goes to take the pill, there's nothing in it.
Oh,
You never thought of that, did you?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So that's where people can actually get started, just
That's
with
exactly.
a painkiller.
Yep. And then once they're that far, then they just need to keep having them, and then that's when they get out on the street and start buying them. And then
So-
after they do that and they can't get the pain pills, then they go to Salt Lake to pick up the balloons of heroin.
Wow.
Okay, people, we want you to know that we're not trying to promote any drug usage, right?
Right.
Look at them and tell them that.
What you need to do as far as drug addiction is make a decision, you young kids, when you're young, never ever to start. Choose not to use. That's what we talk about at the high school. That's what we use as drug-free week. And you have to make the decision early in your life so that when you're faced with it at a party or somebody hands you a pill or a drug, you already know you're going to say no. It's a choice that has to be made ahead of time.
So if I offer you this one pill, what do you tell me?
Absolutely no.
And if they call you chicken?
Still no.
And like the one boy up at the park there, he said that if they keep putting the pressure on him, he leaves.
Yep.
Is that good advice to our audience,
Yeah,
our
it
viewers?
is. Yep. And if you're already using, you need to get help. You need to go to your parents. You need to go to the police officers. If you've already started, you've got a lifetime of misery. And I just hope that we can help somebody to never ever start.
And that's why we did this show, right?
Right.
If we can get to one person in Spanish Fork,
We've made a difference.
we've made a difference.
Yep.
What do you think about that, Bryce?
I hope we do. I'm kind of curious. A lifetime of misery, huh?
Lifetime. Never ever. I run into people who are clean for 25 years and they're still addicts.
Wow.
Once an addict, always an addict.
I've heard that. Now, why is that?
Once you're an addict, you're always an addict. You're a recovering addict. If you can be 25 years clean, but every day you have to wake up and decide you're going to be clean one more day.
So you always have to fight the urge?
Forever.
The urge.
Forever. Yep.
Okay, that makes sense to me. What do you?
That scares the crap out of me.
That does.
I can't imagine anyone wanting to be addicted to something that controls their life.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the kid at the skate park that talked about money.
Yeah.
Once you run out of money, then you start stealing things from your parents and your neighbors and pawning off. And I have a boy that just pawned off 20 items in 10 days to get money. They'll do anything to get the money. You have to have the drug. You can't go without it. You can't function without the drug once you've started.
You know, in the scriptures, it talks about the great plague of the last days. I thought it was AIDS.
It's drugs.
You know what I think it is? I think it's
drugs,
drugs, folks. Drugs. All right. Hopefully, we've got you thinking today, and like I say, we started with this question. We're going to end with this question. Is there anything funny about drugs?
Not one thing funny about drugs. Just choose not to use and say no.
I'm feeling good because I am drug free. What about you guys?
I'm drug free. You bet.
I'm drug free, and that's right where I'm going to stay.
What do you think of that poster there, Bryce?
That's pretty good. Can you read that for us?
Yeah, I'd be glad to. Who runs your life? Well, you do. You choose. Choose your what? Well, you choose your friends. You choose your attitudes. You choose your goals, and then you also choose your dreams. It's your life. Make sure you make it a good one.
Goose, I got one last favor to ask you.
What's that, bud?
Sorry, I'm like taking over your show here. You okay?
Oh, I'm great, man.
I want to see if you can do some drug-free push-ups.
Drug-free push-ups?
Yeah, because you know, did you ever do performance-enhancing drugs?
Oh, no.
How old are you, buddy?
I'll be 60 next week.
And look at him go. How many 60-year-old men can do this? I think we should go with you. Now, wait. Let's do 10 more. Come on, get down there, champ. Come on.
10 more?
We're going to go with you. Come on, get down there.
Are we?
Yep. Okay. Michelle, will you count off 10 here?
Yeah, I will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And I've already.
He already did. Here he did.
And I've already lifted up at the junior high today.
I don't care. Do 2 more.
Okay.
All right.
Very
Good man.
Wow.
I've already lifted up there at junior high today.
I'm so glad you didn't make me do that.
I know. So,
I couldn't do it.
hey, we appreciate you being
Hey,
here.
anytime. Love to do it.
And we appreciate Bryce. He's sure a good cameraman, ain't he?
He is. And everybody watch for Panic. It's on every month. I start back next month with my meetings. And turn your TV on channel 16 and stay with Panic. I'll do it all till next school year.
That's our sister station. The Nebo School District channel puts those panic meetings on.
Okay. Hey, have a great day, Michelle, Bryce, and all our viewers. And remember, we love you. We truly do. We'll catch you next time, our next show.
Thank you.